So at pick 58 in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers go out there and select Javon Bullard, the safety out of Georgia. And this guy, man, is a dog. And if you watch any of my mock drafts, any of my videos up until this point, I have been saying and preaching, man, Javon Bullard is the best safety in this year's draft class. And I think he's going to be phenomenal in this defensive scheme for Jeff Hafley. This is a guy that's very instinctive, very, very good in coverage. In my opinion, the best coverage safety in this year's draft class. And maybe, yeah, he doesn't give you all the interceptions in the world. But I'm telling you right now, man, he is going to lock down one side of the football field very, very easily. He's so good at reading route concepts. He's very physical. Not the biggest dude at 5'11", around 195 pounds. But, when he comes downhill and he hits somebody, he makes you feel it. He has that fearless mentality, plays with the hair on fire. And I just think, man, him and Xavier McKinney together, man, could be one of the best coverage safety duos in the NFL. Now, before I break down Javon Bullard as a prospect, I want to show you this video that's been going around Twitter of just Javon Bullard's reaction to getting drafted by the Green Bay Packers. And, man, it reminds me a lot like when we drafted Rashawn Gary. And I feel like this guy is going to be a really special player for our team.
But Green Bay's great. They're a great team.
I'm a fucking Packer!
So pretty cool video by Javon Bullard, his reaction to getting drafted, by the Green Bay Packers. And it reminds me a lot like Rashawn Gary. And I want to see players, that have that type of emotion and reaction to getting drafted to this team. I want to see players that want to play for this team. I want to see players that want to put on that G. And, Javon Bullard, as I said, at 5'11", 195 pounds, and is still very young at 21 years old. And it says right here, Bullard is a versatile secondary player with a fearless mentality. Though he isn't an elite athlete, his competitiveness, quickness, tackling ability project him to be a starting role as a nickel defender. And I think Javon Bullard, like I said, earlier, is the best safety in this year's draft class. But, you get a guy like Javon Bullard, who's not just only the best safety in this year's draft class, in my opinion, but who's also a team leader. This is a guy who multiple years for the Georgia team has been, called a team leader, has been one of their leaders for that team, a captain. So not only do we get a guy in Javon Bullard who I think has really good, talents, but this guy is a really good leader. He has leadership abilities. And we have a room full of guys that have leadership abilities. This team, has a lot of leaders on this team. And I think this team, is going to go far next year. Now, here are the pros and cons for Javon Bullard. Experienced and successful slot defender. Fearless tackler for his size. Fiery competitor who does not back down from any assignment. And then here are the cons. Recovery speed is good but not elite. Over-aggressive pursuit angles cause him to be out of control at times. Much more comfortable playing in the slot than coming from depth. Now, Javon Bullard this year had an 88.4 coverage grade, had a 67.1 run defense grade, and I do feel like he's way better than this run defense grade. This is someone that's not afraid to come downhill and make tackles. Had a 10.8 missed tackle rate, which is very good for a safety. Had a 26.9 forced completion rate. That is very elite for a safety. And had an average depth of run tackle at 9.9. Now, Javon Bullard this year played in 12 games. He had 596 defensive snaps, 267 run defense snaps, 329 coverage snaps, 45 tackles, 13 assisted tackles, and 7 missed tackles. Javon Bullard this year also had 8 coverage stops, 5 run stops, 14 receptions on 26 targets, a passer rating allowed of 34.0, which is very elite for a safety. That's a very good passer rating allowed. He is locked down, like I said. 0 touchdowns allowed to 2 interceptions, very, very good, and 7 forced incompletions. And the reason I like Javon Bullard so much, man, is because this guy is super, super versatile. If you watched any of my previous mock drafts about, when I drafted Javon Bullard or just when I talked about Javon Bullard, the one thing I noted always about Javon Bullard, yes, he is a very physical player. Yes, he plays with his hair on fire. Yes, he is very gritty, but he is a very versatile secondary player. 144 snaps in the slot this year, 80 in the box, 362 back deep. But in 2022, 510 in the slot, 18 at corner, 64 in the box, and then 12 back deep. So he is very, very versatile. And like I said, he's not someone that's going to maybe give you all the interceptions in the world, but he's so good at reading route concepts, he's going to lock down one side of the football field. Now, Javon Bullard did get drafted 38% by Packers fans whenever they made mock drafts. And finally, I can say he is a part of the Green Bay Packers. And this is someone who, my previous mock drafts I have talked super highly of. And I think, this guy is going to be a very good safety in the NFL. I think Javon Bullard next to Xavier McKinney is going to be one of the best safety duos in the NFL coverage-wise. Now, here's a stat I found on Twitter by PFF Green Bay Packers. Javon Bullard, a 34.0 passer rating allowed in coverage in 2023. He's just very, very elite in coverage. Like I said, he's really, really good at reading route concepts. And he's going to lock down one side of the football field. His biggest knock is that he's undersized, man. But if this man had the size at the safety position, I do think he would have been, easily the first safety off the board. And he would have been drafted way, way higher. But like I said, he is undersized for the safety position. But he brings it every play, man. And he's going to bring it for us every play. Now, here's a stat I found about Javon Bullard on Twitter. It says Bullard did not allow a touchdown nor 15-plus yard catch in his 267 coverage snaps last season. Like I said, I do think he's the best coverage safety in this year's draft class. Maybe, doesn't have all the size in the world at the safety position, but he's going to bring it every play. He plays with a ton of physicality, a ton of grit, with his hair on fire. And, when you look at the division, the NFC North, the Bears have an insane wide receiver trio with Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, and DJ Moore. And Javon Bullard is another guy that could add to our secondary to go out there and lock those guys up. Now, I just want to read some things that, Javon Bullard did in his collegiate career. Got Peach Bowl defensive MVP, 2023 National Championship defensive MVP, two-time National Championship winner. In 2022, recorded the second most tackles for loss by a UGA defensive back since 2011. All SEC second team in 2023. So this guy is well accomplished in his collegiate career. We're getting someone that's a dog, someone that's a team leader, and someone that's a winner. And then here is this other stat I found on Twitter by PFF College right here. It says Green Bay selects DB Javon Bullard 58th overall. 0 touchdowns allowed in 2023, 329 coverage snaps. So very, very elite. Like I said, easily the best coverage safety in this year's draft class. Yes, he is undersized in terms of height, man, but he's going to bring it every play, and he's so good at reading route concepts. Now, I want to show you this video of Javon Bullard answering a question by a reporter after he got drafted, and I just love this response, man. This is the type of people I want to wear that Green Bay Packers G, man.
You get to go join Quay Walker up there in Green Bay. Now, what excites you about being on that secondary?
Oh, man, everything. That swagger they play with, we're trying to bring the Lombardi back to, Green Bay, so it's time to work.
You got your winter coat packed?
Yes, sir, man. hey, the Georgia South boy doing coming up north, man. I'm ready, dog. I'm ready.
Congratulations, Javon.
Thank you.
Now, that is the perfect response from an NFL player that just got drafted to an NFL team. And I think Javon Bullard is going to fit super, super well into this NFL roster, man. He said that our players play with a lot of swagger, and I think Javon Bullard plays with a lot of swagger as well. Now, I'm only going to show this one clip of Javon Bullard just multiple times. And like I said, he plays very violent, very physical for a guy around 5'11". And if you want me to do a full breakdown on Javon Bullard, let me know in the comments, man. But I just want to know, what do you guys think about this pick, man? I love this pick. Like I said, he's my #1 safety in this year's draft class. Let me know what you guys think about this pick, though. I'm out.